Hello and welcome to a tour of Ingledene Cottage, which is about a 10-minute drive from Bournemouth beaches and the pier, and lots of other lovely areas such as Christchurch, Sandbanks and Poole we also visited. So I'm going to take you on a tour of the outside of the cottage to start with. It's a 4-bedroomed cottage on Airbnb, one of those bedrooms being downstairs, one of those bedrooms having 2 single beds that you can use for children, or you can stack them if you want a higher bed for your teenage children. The first area that we get to is an outdoor seating area with a nice parasol for shade, seating for 8 there, and at the back there are some patio doors and a kind of conservatory area where there's also a bit more seating, and there's glasses and things like that for drinks so that you can sit out in the sunshine. It is quite a quirky layout, I would say, but you get used to it quite quickly. And the garden area goes round the property, so we've got a decked area here with a little walkway that you can see there, and then we've got a swing seat which will capture the sun in the mid to late evening, and was really comfortable. We have some steps that lead down to a bit of landscape garden at the bottom, so although this is a pet friendly cottage, just be mindful of that. So we have a small dog and he was fine, just had to keep an eye on him. So where we started is actually a dead end to a storage area, so we knew where he was. We then followed the decking round, so to our right would be the main lounge area, which we'll see later on as we tour the inside. And it was really private, the trees gave some good cover, and it was quiet, which was really good as well. So I'm just showing here just to walk around the full building, but that would have been, as I understand it, the original entrance, which is actually now the downstairs bedroom. Then we go back round to the front, where we've got a little lawn area, bit of patio. There were some herbs there, which was a nice touch that you can help yourself to. And then we have a seating area with some bistro seating and lighting, which is a nice chilled little area. There's a log burner there with a basket for logs in there, full of logs for the burner. A barbecue, which also came with the barbecue utensils hanging up there. Some bistro seating for those morning meals, which was really nice to have, and then just a bit of storage there. And there was a drying rack actually, which I've not probably picked up very well in the video. They do recommend, because the drive is narrow, that you reverse your vehicle in, so that as you're exiting the property you can see what's coming both ways, because it is quite narrow, quite long, and it's situated in the middle of a housing estate. So let's have a look in the inside. So we've got an undercovered area to put your shoes with some shoe racks, mostly hardwood flooring throughout the ground floor. With a dining area here, you can see we have unpacked a few things, excuse the mess. That leads into the first of 2 kitchens and a utility area, which came well stocked with some beach equipment, which we found very useful. We got an American fridge with ice maker, microwave, toaster, and the dishwasher was also in there. Then we've got a concrete step leading into kitchen number 2. So this is a kind of breakfast bar area. Then we've got the cooker in its own little nook there, and then we got some storage there and some taps for washing up, and a little welcome gift, which again is a lovely touch. Through to the lounge area, we've got a couple of bean bags and a nice comfy chair to gaze upon the stars of the evening, which leads on to the outdoor seating area, which we showed earlier in the video. There's our friend Bentley. He's loving life. It is a dog-friendly cottage. There we go, there's your glasses and things for drinks. and then we'll carry on in the downstairs area. So here is the main lounge with some comfortable seating there. You've got TV, Wi-Fi, another sofa here, and there's various bits of art scattered around the cottage, which is quite interesting. And again, quite quirky. It's quite a quirky layout, but you will get used to it fairly quickly. We'll carry on downstairs to the last of the rooms. So this is the downstairs bedroom, the double bed, plenty of storage, and it looks out onto that decking area, which is lovely. And there's some nice original features within the property. Got a glimpse of me there, and Bentley again exploring. So that would be the front door that we saw on the exterior. So that's the ground floor. Oh, sorry. We have a downstairs sink and toilet, which is good if you're staying with a family. It's always a bit of a battle, isn't it, to get everybody ready in the morning. And actually that's really good for people that are not so mobile. So the downstairs bedroom is a good option. This is the children's room that I was talking about. 2 beds, not a whole lot of space there, but you can stack them. Onto the main bathroom. So you've got a shower over the bath. Actually, good temperature water. Toilet there in the corner. And although those windows open up to the front, as I say, the long driveway means that you have got privacy in the bathroom. And then into the second of the upstairs bedrooms with another double bed, looking out over the seating area. And you can see there that the woodland means that you're quite secluded. So you won't see a sea view, but as I said, it is 10 minutes from Bournemouth beaches and the pier. Okay, and then into the main bedroom. So this is, I think, a queen size bed. You've got a chair there. The beds were quite firm but comfortable. And the cottage itself was really well equipped and made for a very comfortable stay for a family of 4 that stayed for a week. Just having a look at the view around there. So as you can see, it is kind of on a housing estate, which is at first a little bit unusual. There are some local shops, which are really handy. If you're feeling a bit lazy, there is a Just Eat option for some local takeaways. But the kitchen's well equipped enough that you can be self-sufficient for the week. Hopefully you've enjoyed the tour and it gives you a bit of insight into the size of the property and the suitability. I always find these things really useful when I'm looking to plan stays. So I would highly recommend the cottage and its location. Hello and welcome to Lilliput. Yes, it is a real place and there are no giants, although you can feel like one because the water, it doesn't really show on the video, but it's literally ankle deep for quite a distance out there. So during the day there was an awful lot of paddleboarders along here, and I was able to walk all the way down to what you see there in the background, which is Sandbanks. So Sandbanks are obviously very popular, Millionaires Row, all those kinds of things, but just look at that glorious sunset. If you're lucky, you can park alongside the wall and just enjoy this beautiful area. Around a 2-minute drive from Ingledene Cottage, where we were staying, we stumbled upon this place, which is called Redhill Park, which was actually quite amazing. So the area that we've come to, which we're filming in this video, is the dog walking area, which, as you can see, is a huge, well-kept field. It's not too busy. You can see there's some lines down there for a makeshift running track. There's a wooded area in the background over there, which we'll explore a little bit later. And then just on the other side of those parked cars is actually a little splash pool, which is free. It's open to all ages, next to which is a cafe that is run by volunteers who are all, I have to say, really very friendly. It was quite busy. They're not getting paid for the work, and the drinks and the food were really reasonably priced. So it was a lovely day, or a lovely way to spend an hour or two. So because of the size of the field, that means that our four-legged friends can be off lead and enjoy a bit of freedom. I see some other dogs there in the background, but here is good old Bentley having a sniff. You can just make my silhouette out there. So we've walked along the field, and on hotter days what we don't want is his paws on that tarmac, so there's a lovely shaded area here which we're going to head into. So Ingledene Cottage, as I mentioned, is dog friendly. It's not fully secured on the boundary, so you do need to keep an eye on your dogs, but there's nothing there that's going to harm them. But having this a 2-minute drive away, or if you're adventurous, about a 15-minute walk through the estate, so it's a pretty straight line past some local shops and then up to this area. So particularly if you're here in the summer months, you can find that understandably not all of the beaches are dog friendly, and what we don't want to do, Bentley's a part of our family and it's his holiday too, so whilst we can get out and about to places that are accessible for him, we do want to make sure that he gets his time as well. So as you can see, he's having a lovely little time here, Bentley on his adventures. And just a lovely area. Again, quite secluded. There were a few cyclists, there are cycle paths, but some of them are specifically for dog walkers. And he's having a good old look around here, leading us back. So it's quite a long walk for what is a residential area. I've got to say that the facilities that they offer for locals are amazing. So we did actually go back on another day, on another morning, on the day of our departure, just to sit in the cafe. So our daughter had a bit of a splash around in the pool and on the little park equipment there, while we took Bentley for a little walk before our drive back home. As with most places down here, it's I say down here, so we are Somerset based and this is Dorset. So it is down here, it is south for us, and as I've probably mentioned in my other video, I do think that Ingledene Cottage was ideally situated to visit quite a lot of places. So most of the places we visited were roughly half an hour drive. So in terms of Bournemouth Pier itself, that was about a 10-minute drive. What we did find, as you'd expect, in the height of summer, on a gloriously hot summer's day, I think the day was 29 degrees, parking was impossible. So we did drive around a couple of different beaches, followed the coastline, and we stumbled upon Lilliput, which I have captured in a different video. So that's just up the road from Sandbanks, which is a really well-known area. So it was a little bit less busy. So it's to be expected. If it's a nice day, then everybody's going to tip up to the beach, and that's exactly what happened. But Bournemouth Pier itself, that was quite enjoyable. There's the town centre for some shopping. There's also the gardens where we had live music. Lots of families enjoying the sunshine, which was really nice to see. The shops themselves, didn't see hardly any that were boarded up. And yeah, it wasn't majorly busy. Quite a good combination of retail shops and places to eat. So that was Bournemouth. Pool we visited and parked by the quay there, which again was nice and picturesque. And there's a long high street with an unexpected railway track running right across it, which was a bit of a giggle. But if you like a charity shop, you'd be really well served there. Loads of charity shops to have a browse. On the high street itself, again, some eateries and quite a picturesque harbour where the parking is, not too far to walk. We also went to Christchurch, which is a lot more picturesque. It's got a little harbour there with a car park right next to the church gardens, if you can get a space in there, where you can hire boats out on one side, and then there are some ruins of a castle and a little shopping street or two for you to go and explore. And it's actually a little bit bigger than we expected, and a nice place to go and spend a day. I think that is pretty much all the areas that we went to. We enjoyed all of them. We only really had one day of bad weather where we got caught in the rain. No, we weren't drinking pina coladas, unfortunately, but we did manage to have a really good week weather-wise. So I would highly recommend it. You can either, I think the trade-off is that you can look for somewhere with the sea view where you can get to the beach really easily, and a sea view can just be a rectangle of blue that you see out of a window. I think for what we needed, I can't recommend Ingledene Cottage enough, because it was a really good base for us, and particularly if you have a four-legged friend and want to make them a big part of the holiday, then yeah, it's got everything. It's got everything that you need, and it's very private and secluded. No crazy parties or anything like that in the background. And if we did want to enjoy a bit of nightlife in Bournemouth, then it was only a 10-minute drive, and it was tended to be a little bit less busy in the evenings, as you'd expect. That just about wraps it up for this one. Thank you. Hello and welcome to a tour of Lymington Harbour. So as you can see here, we've arrived in the harbour area, where you can see the Isle of Wight ferry in the background there. So the car park is right next to the harbour, and the main attraction that we're here for today, which is off in the distance. We've got a lovely green just across from the harbour with the bandstand. Wasn't too busy on the day that we arrived. There's a bit of a lake there with a little island where we saw some ducks making their homes, and there were some lovely houses in the background there. We didn't have a look to see whether they were rental properties or residences, because we were here for the Lidos. So the Lido is the outdoor sea pool, which actually has 3 different areas. So it's a sea pool where you can just go for a swim. There's an inflatable fun course, and there's some paddleboarding area. So it's quite a unique little area, really well priced. We'll make our way over once we've had a little look at the lake. So it's quite a busy little harbour, which makes for interesting viewing if you want to sit down and take in the world with a coffee on one of the benches or the cafeterias. It wasn't overly busy, given that this is mid-August, so not too busy at all, and the Lido itself similarly. So you can see that in front of us here, we're making our way to our main event. So it's right next to the harbour, and this is the little kiosk, the entrance, where you can also get some food and drinks, again fairly reasonably priced. And there in the background you can just about make out the Lido itself. There we are, and it was a glorious day on the day we arrived. So we got ourselves a little something to eat, and then in we went. Just having a little sneaky peek to see what we could expect. So you can see the paddleboarding area there, not overly crowded. And then this footage I took after I'd attempted to get around the course, which I have to say was really fun. Very challenging as well. But yeah, I mean, the water was lovely. Lots of lifeguards about. You don't see them in this video because I filmed after the session, because people don't want to be filmed while they're going around these sorts of things. So there's lots of seating around the pool, as you can see there in the distance, and a little snack area. So all in all, a very enjoyable day out and really reasonable value